now we're gonna define the product of two vectors. Okay. Sometimes we call it the inner product. Sometimes we call it the dot product. Okay, and we're gonna call it the dot product in our case, and we're gonna see why we call it that way. Okay, and the easiest way is to start with the two vectors in 2D. Let's call them u and v. When I say u and v, that means u has two components. Okay, these two belongs to the v2. v2 is the set of vectors in R2. Okay, and I define the dot product of u and v, and the dot is coming from this dot here, as the norm of u times, this is a multiplication, times v cosine of theta. Theta is the angle between the two. Okay, so here theta is this angle between these two. We have many notations. Okay, so here we use this notation here. It's the angle between the two. Okay, if we have u as this vector and v as this one, then the dot product is just the norm of u times the norm of v times the cosine of the angle between the two. Okay, we can do a quick example here, and we're gonna use this system here. Let's say our u is 0. Let's use 1 0 to make it easier. Let's use this vector as u, and let's use v as this one here. V is 1 1. Here we know the angle now, it's 45 degrees or pi over 4. Therefore, we know that the norm of u is just 1. Okay, and the norm of v is the square root of 2. Okay, why? Because the norm of u is the square root of 1 squared plus 0 squared, which is just the square root of 1, which is 1. And for v, the norm of v is the square root of 1 squared plus 1 squared, which is 1 plus 1, which is 2. Therefore, we have the square root of 2. Now, u dot v is the norm of u, which is the square root of, which is 1 times square root of 2 times the cosine of theta. And theta is pi over 4 in this case. Therefore, we have square root of 2 cosine of pi over 4. So we have square root of 2 times the square root of 2 over 2, which is 2 over 2, which is 1. Here we have the dot product of these two is just 1. Okay? Note that this one depends on the angle. Okay? So here the cosine theta, where theta is the angle between the two. Okay, so theta can be the cosine can be positive or negative depending on this angle here. One special case is that when we have u and v are perpendicular, that means they have a 90 degrees here. That means we have u dot v is the norm of u times the norm of v times the cosine of this one here, which is pi over 2, which is 0. Therefore, we have 0. Okay, very, very important notion here. So u dot v is 0 when the two are perpendicular. Okay, and another thing that we need to use is that we can think of this dot product as the projection of v onto u. Okay, so think of it as projecting u onto v onto u. Okay, or vice versa. But for now, we need to remember this notation here and the definition of this definition here. the dot product of u and v is the norm of u times the norm of v times the cosine of the angle between the two. Okay, thank you very much.